Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here. Hope you guys are doing well. Another episode of Prospect Watch, a series where we cover the best boxing prospects from all around the world. Today we will be talking about a guy by the name of Christian Mbilli. Now Christian Mbilli, he was born in Cameroon. He currently resides in Canada, but he was brought up in France and he represented France in the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. So we'll say he's French. But Christian Mbilli is a prospect in the middleweight division. Christian Mbilli, he was a solid amateur, but he never won any major medals. The pinnacle of his amateur career was reaching the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. I actually remember watching Mbilli in the Olympic Games, and my thoughts back then were, the guy's a bit raw, he's a bit crude, but his style really does suit the pro game. And if he turns pro, I think he'll be one to watch. And that's certainly the case. He's 24 years old, fighting out of the middleweight division, like I said. He is listed as 5'8.5". He's fairly stocky and compact. He's an orthodox fighter, and he's got a record of 14-0, 13 of those 14 wins coming by way of knockout. If you look through his fights, you would realise he is very aggressive. He's physically strong and he's fairly heavy-handed. He does have a very impressive knockout ratio, but I wouldn't say the guy is like a one-hitter quitter type puncher. He's more heavy-handed and he'll wear you down by heavy-handed accumulation. Like I said, he's very aggressive. He'll come forwards, he'll try and remain nice and compact, he'll work that body with hooks, he'll come upstairs with hooks, and he puts his shots together very well. When he gets going, his hand speed is quite impressive and he shows good variety in his work. Like I said, he switches from body to head. He's got a lovely right uppercut to the body, a nice chopping right hand to the head. Offensively, Mbilli has quite a lot going for him. He's very creative with his offense as well. In a couple of fights, I've noticed Mbilli, he'll try and use that Golovkin smash punch where, you know where Golovkin, he kind of throws it like a hook, but it's higher up, and he'll bring it down on the top of his opponent's head. I've seen Mbilli try to throw that shot a few times, and he can pull it off. So offensively, I think Mbilli has quite a lot going for him. You know, a lot of volume, a lot of variety, decent power. Sometimes he'll try and jab his way in to get to the inside. Sometimes he'll lead with hooks or uppercuts, or he'll lead with his right hand. So in terms of offense, Mbilli does have a lot going for him. As a come forward fighter, Mbilli, you know, he does sometimes get hit coming forwards, and that is part and parcel of that style, but Mbilli needs to be more consistent with his defense. And I say consistent because I have seen him use good defense. Sometimes he will walk forward with a nice tight guard. Sometimes he'll come forwards moving his head and he'll be slipping shots to get on the inside. I've seen Mbilli use good defense. He just doesn't do it on a consistent enough basis. He's got the ability to do it. I think it's more down to a consistency thing, and maybe that will get better as he has more fights and as he steps up through the levels. Also, another thing I've noticed, I mentioned that Mbilli is very offensively minded. He's very aggressive, but sometimes he'll take it a bit too far. You will see this guy throw himself off balance after throwing power shots, mainly with his hooks. I've seen him on a few occasions. He'll swing that left or right hook and he will completely miss and he will end up, you know, in a really bad position. Right now, the level he's fighting at, he will, and he has been getting away with that. But when he does step up, those type of flaws could be an issue going forwards. So I do think he needs to iron out those type of errors in his game as he steps up. But, you know, he's got time. He's still only fought at a relatively low level. So as he steps up, maybe naturally those type of flaws will disappear from his game. Sometimes fighters naturally up their game when they are facing somebody they know is a threat. And maybe that's the case with Christian Mbilli, but we will see going forwards. So far, as I mentioned previously, Mbilli is 14-0. He has fought a low level of competition. He's fought a few tough journeymen here and there, but ultimately a low level of competition. I would like to see a few step-ups soon. In his next couple of fights, you know, maybe guys like Christopher Pearson, who's coming off a good win, that would be a nice step up. maybe Javier Francisco Maciel, the Argentinian fighter. That would also be a decent step up. Maybe have a couple of fights at that level, and then after that, maybe look at somebody like Turiano Johnson or Martin Murray. But at this stage, I do kind of want to see Mbilli step up through the levels so we can see what we've got here. I personally believe the guy has some real ability, albeit raw ability, but ability nonetheless. And if this guy gets the right fights and the right coaching, I do believe that this guy could be a threat in 12 to 18 months' time. I think he's got a lot going for him, physically strong like I said, aggressive, powerful. He seems to have a good engine, and at the very least, however far this guy goes, he will certainly be a good watch. He's very fan friendly, he's extremely aggressive. He brings a similar level of aggression to Kurt Sidze a few years ago, if you remember him. Now, Kurt Sidze was supposed to fight Billy Joe Saunders, but in the end, Kurt Sidze got arrested, and I believe he's in jail now for mafia-related charges, believe it or not. He was in some kind of Eastern European crime organisation, believe it or not. So, Kurt Sidze's no more, but, this guy brings a similar level of aggression, and he's equally as fun to watch. So check out Christian Mbilli. I'm not sure how far this guy will go, but I do believe he will be a problem, and he will be a contender. Share your thoughts below. Peace.